There's no time to waste.
Check it out. Earth looks so cool from here.
What are those buttons? Oh, I bet one of these launches the atoms.
No, those control the camera drones. The launch controls are over there.
Don't touch anything without permission, kids. Same goes for you, AG.
We're sorry.
Hi, Claire. Gohara. Good to see everyone here. Now let's talk Operation Tokyo. This is where the last Monarch and her nest are located. We'll use the same strategy as before. Once we've cleared the Nephilim hordes, we'll lure the Monarch away, strike at the nest, and destroy the Monarch before she can lay another one. Sure thing. Let's go! Megadon. Synchronization complete.
So, we can use the comms now too?
Of course we can. We're part of the team now.
They're called megaliths. My family lives in one.
Megadon's been here before.
What do all these giant monsters have against this one city?
Good job, everyone.
Let me see. If we rise the coefficient by the cubic root of x,
We're ready to engage. We've learned that Professor Maki, Dr. Cruz's predecessor, has backed up his research in several locations across Japan. Sophia?
Most of the data centers containing the backups have been destroyed. However,
Excuse me. Where's the washroom?
That door to your left, then straight ahead.
as I was saying, Professor Maki's backups were spread through several data centers, but only 2 remain. The one in Shinjuku is in a more accessible area, so your objective is to go there and secure it.
on another note, Syncor's latest combat atoms have been deployed near our mission location. You may see some in the field.
More atoms means more forces against the Nephilim. This operation will be over in no time.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
I told you to go before the meeting! I'd love to see Megadon in action.
Shinjuku is rife with Nephilim. You'll have to fight your way to the data center.
No rest for the wicked, eh?
At least we're getting 2 birds with 1 stone. Or, I guess, 4 stones. Never mind.
there's more tendrils under Tokyo than any other place we've been.
That's why there are so many Nephilim. Fascinating.
Over there! It's a team of the new Atom model.
They'll be taking on a nearby horde.
Cool. Not as cool as Megadon, but cool.
Tempest is stronger and cooler.
Target up ahead. Clear it of Nephilim and we'll send in a team to retrieve the data. What's the status on the data retrieval?
We're still sorting through it, but to be honest, there's not too much that's useful. There's some information about findings in Bermuda, at the Sheol energy pools where AG got his powers. Discussion of a tablet from there containing references to something called the Covenant and, well, it's hard to say what else. The information is fragmented. It'd be easier to parse it if we could get the other backup.
I'll see what I can do.
Welcome back!
Japan. This is where our final fight will take place.
I see our new teammates are here. I'm Conrad Fosco, Commander-in-Chief of Dawn. And you are?
Why is he asking? He already knows who we are.
He looks old. Maybe he forgot.
Oh, aren't you a rude one? All right, Captain Leone, why don't you tell everyone about the surprise we've got in store?
A large cluster of Nephilim has gathered in downtown Tokyo. The surprise is that this time, you'll be working with an Atom squad at your side.
Nice!
Let the Atoms deal some final blows if you can. It's good PR.
Megadon and Kohara synchronized.
What models are those?
The Cyclone series have machine guns,
The unarmed ones are the Flare series.
and the Quake series are equipped with state-of-the-art heavy artillery.
Nice to have you by our side, Atom Squad.
Our pleasure, Galahad.
I'm just waiting for one of these guys to go Quixote on us.
Come on, AG, that unit was stolen. These guys aren't responsible.
You say so.
Cyclone series have machine guns,
The unarmed ones are the flare series.
and the Quake series are equipped with state-of-the-art heavy artillery.
Nice to have you by our side, Adam Squad.
Our pleasure, Galahad.
I'm just waiting for one of these guys to go Quixote on us.
Come on, AG, that unit was stolen. These guys aren't responsible.
You say so.
Over there!
Like the device we saw in Cairo.
Try to keep the device undamaged.
Roger that.
Great work, team. You've earned your rest. Adams, bring that device to the Syncor labs.
Let me see. If we rise the coefficient by the cubic root of x,
Jamila, what are you doing down here?
I'm looking over some of the new augment proposals from R&D. I think these could push Tempest to the next level.
That's good news. Though Tempest is already quite powerful.
We can always push her further, right? The faster we kill the Nephilim, the faster this is all over.
I don't mean to pry, Jamila, but is that still all that matters to you? Exterminating the Nephilim?
Humanity won't be safe until they're destroyed. What else could matter?
What about friends? Family?
Family? Are you serious?
You still think you're the only one who understands this kind of suffering. But I know exactly what you're feeling. My partner worked with Dawn's emergency services and was left in a coma during a Nephilim attack.
And that doesn't make you hate them?
What would be the point? They're mindless beings. It'd be like hating cars all my life if it had happened in an accident. We lose family and life no matter what happens, Jamila. If we don't work to make it grow, it vanishes. The last thing I'd want my death to do is stop my family from growing. I've made peace with the past, Jamila. You should too. There's no time to waste. Atom scouts have been searching the Mount Fuji area. They've confirmed the presence of both a nest and a monarch. Commander Fosco is in Brussels, coordinating with the rest of the Defense Division. They're devising an attack plan to send in the Atoms.
Speaking of the Atoms, have they figured out anything about that machine we found downtown?
I'm afraid we've had no word from Syncor yet. We'll continue to weed the Nephilim out in the region, while we wait on word about the nest.
Kohara says Megadon's good to go.
team. The volcanic activity in the region has increased significantly. That monarch is clearly throwing a fit.
We can see that.
Megadon will show him who's got the most fire.
Miss Cruces, what's this new monarch's name?
Agniton. The ancient texts describe her as a raging inferno.
It suits her.
You doing okay in this heat, Aegis?
I wouldn't say I'm comfortable. How about you, Jamila?
Oh, I'm fine. Galahad's cooling systems are great.
How about next mission, you let me pilot the Atom?
It might be a new type of alpha.
That thing was strong.
Ah, hello.
We're ready to engage.
We've traced Professor Maki's remaining backup files to Yamanashi, not far from Mount Fuji.
Let me guess. For our next mission, we'll be clearing the way through Yamanashi so Dawn can retrieve the files.
Wow, didn't peg you for a telepath, AG.
Is he one?
Of course not, numbskull. That's basically it, AG. If there's a chance that Maki found something important, we want to know what it is.
Yamanashi is not far from the Monarch's lair. I expect things will be pretty fiery.
Megadon! eruption happening. Getting to the research building won't be easy.
To retrieve and decrypt the files, but I'll keep you up to date with whatever we find.
There's a new mission for you. Everyone, listen up. We've got a thin window here, and we have to strike. The destruction of this nest could change the course of history. All available atoms are coordinating to distract the Monarch. With Agnitor preoccupied, we'll have an opening to strike against the Mount Fuji nest.
The last major nest. I can't believe we're this close to our goal.
If we only have until Agnitor returns, then there's no time to waste. Let's get going.
Megadon looks eager to fight.
down here and get a whiff of them.
How is it going, my friend? Wow.
There's a new mission for you.
So we're taking Agnator down now, right? I'm ready.
I'm afraid not. The Council has put the Atom Squads on that operation. We've been redirected to the Nephilim Horde heading into Tokyo.
What? Why wouldn't we be fighting alongside the Atoms?
This is Fosco's doing, isn't it?
I couldn't say. I could tell you how the Commander has been lobbying the Council for an increase in atom production.
Typical.
But that doesn't make our mission any less important. Sophia?
I've been reading through Professor Maki's files and believe the Horde is heading towards another one of those machines in the downtown area. I can explain more in detail later. We need to take advantage of this opportunity and get that machine to the Sunrise for analysis.
Understood. We'll head down there immediately.
Megadon. Synchronization complete. Get through the Horde and retrieve the device.
Atom teams in the area.
Pick up the pace, team. I want that machine heading for Dawn, not Syncor.
I see Adams ahead.
This is Tempest Galahad. Come in, Zatoichi squad.
We'll take care of these Nephilim. You're dismissed.
We don't take orders from you. Let us pass.
You had your chance.
Watch out! They're attacking us!
Atom squads on their way to the device, and Nephilim in between. Hurry!
You were right, AG. I can't believe they turned on us.
Never mind that. What do we do now?
We've analyzed the machine. The evidence is conclusive. It's the supersonic emitter designed by Professor Maki. It's used to incite and lure the Nephilim.
Wait, what?
Maki analyzed the supersonic signals in Nephilim territory and replicated the patterns. It's how the nests call for Nephilim. He made a machine that could produce the sounds, hoping to lure the Nephilim away from populated areas.
First, the rogue atom destroyed the one we found in Cairo. Then the atoms took the other one from Tokyo. I hate to admit it, but it's clear that Syncor is creating these machines.
They do look quite similar to some prototypes we saw in Iguazu.
It's unacceptable and a gross misuse of resources. I'll be taking the evidence to the Security Council. But right now, our immediate concern is Agnator. As bad as this is, we can't let the Monarch establish another nest, and I don't trust the atoms to destroy it. Let's get this done. The Security Council has ordered us aside while they prepare the Atoms for an offensive against Agnator. They're claiming our team instigated the dispute with the Atoms.
What?
But they attacked us!
Someone must be turning the Security Council against us.
Weren't the Atom teams already attacking Agnator? Why the new plan?
They've been unable to overcome the Monarch. Syncor's producing new units, but the manufacturing is delaying the assault by a week.
A week? We can't wait that long. Agnator will have another nest down any day now.
I know. I just don't know what to do.
That's not true. You do know.
Listen to me, Leon. I'll stand by a decision this time, but we have got to do this.
I was already written up for letting Kiwa and Kohara out of that room. Disobeying orders again could mean my job. But what's a pink slip from Dawn if all the Nephilim are gone? Let's go get that Monarch.
Hell yeah!
All right! Let's get ready, Kiwa.
Yes, ma'am. Kill this thing, and this nightmare is finally over.
Megadon and Kohara synchronized!
This is it. Today we end the Nephilim threat.
Minotaur exploded? Yeah! We did it! Boom!
I'm sorry to Dino Breath and Miss Krabs, but I don't want to see another Nephilim ever again.
It's really over, isn't it?
There's still some cleanup to be done. I've seen remnants of Nephilim activities along the western Atlantic and...
Worry about that later. Come! Now is the time to celebrate, Sophia.
Congratulations, team. I can't even begin to emphasize how proud I am of what you've all achieved. And rest assured, I'm not going to let Syncor get away with what they've done. Using the sonic emitters to lure Nephilim into cities so they could peddle their atoms and munitions. It makes me sick. I've made you risk your lives again and again. Also, a few businessmen could get rich. But that ends now. The Nephilim are being exterminated. Now I think it's time we exterminate the corruption that's been festering in Dawn. Victor, get a shuttle ready. I'm flying down to Earth.
Blair was in that shuttle! Eiji! Jamila!
Those were... atoms.
Kids, come with me. We need to talk.
There's no doubt. That was a Syncor atom.
But why? What do we do?
I hate to say this, but this whole station could be in danger. The atoms have flown away, but who knows how many else are out there. Victor, make sure the station's defenses are all ready. I need to be alone.
Could we talk, Victor?
Of course, Sophia. How are you doing?
Not so good. How about you?
I'm not so good either. I've known Claire a long, long time. At least the Nephilim threat is practically over. It's bittersweet, knowing she accomplished her goal, but won't be here to see the outcome. But this is what we do, eh? We fight for humankind, no matter the cost. I will miss her.
I know this isn't the best moment to bring up bad news, but...
What is it now?
My team has found something, and it's not good.
Seems like they're sleeping.
Eiji, please don't go. Could you stay a bit longer?
As long as you need.
Claire thought she was a bad person. But she was good. Wasn't she, Eiji?
That's not for us to say. People are complicated, not just good or bad.
We could think hear her often. She thought very loudly. Maybe that's why it hurts so much. Because we're telepaths.
No, Kiwa. It hurts because you're human.
Help me. I don't know what to do. I'm in pain. Why is all of this happening? What's the point? Please, have mercy on Claire's soul. Have mercy on all of us. Am I misguided? Am I just bringing more destruction to a world of destruction? More evil to a world of evil? If I'm not here to exact revenge on those who make your sons and daughters suffer, what am I here for? I know what to do, but I'm afraid. Help me.